Coming up, time to get down and dirty with some gators.
Look at that. The smallest.
A platypus shows me his spurs.
It protrudes like this.
And get ready for my top 5 deadliest Aussie snakes.
I'm not a big fella, but that's a long snake. I'm really going to need my wits about me today. I'm on my way to meet Jace, who owns Hunter Valley Zoo, and he needs a hand moving some alligators. It could be an interesting day.
Good morning, mate.
Morning, Timmy. How are you, mate?
Good. What's going on?
Mate, I need a hand with these gators. They're giving me some grief.
Are they? Where are they?
Down in the park.
Righto, let's go.
I've asked him to come to the Hunter Valley Zoo today to give us a hand. We've got 7 young gators here that originally come from the reptile park. And what happened in the last couple of weeks, I think, they have tunnelled underground in the edge of the dam wall. So we need to get these guys out without anybody getting injured.
This is a bit of an urgent situation we've got on our hands.
So you've called me up to help you get the 7 gators that we set up here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to move them into here.
Game plan is to drain this, get them out of here, backfill it, and it'll eliminate the problem.
Yeah, beautiful. Look, he's dropping now. Straight under.
Yep.
Right into that burrow.
Straight in that burrow with his mates, I reckon. They know where to go.
You got that pump?
Yep, ready to go.
Righto, let's get it.
Start her up.
When gators hibernate, they naturally want to dig and put themselves into a burrow. Now, there's 2 reasons that that's a problem here. Firstly, the keepers can't see them daily to make sure that they're okay. And more importantly, this burrow could collapse. That would crush and kill them all.
As the water's going down, we're seeing the size of this burrow. A lot bigger than what I expected. All good?
Jace, you and I are going to catch the gators?
Yes, mate.
Yeah? What do you want to do then?
Then we've got a couple of guys here to wash.
OK.
So we're going to catch them, pass them over the fence.
Yep.
Boys are going to wash them down, get them into the clean pool.
We need to get this right. No doubt about it. One wrong move could result in disaster.
That's a good size gator.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
We'd almost want backup here. Oh, don't go backwards, buddy. Even though these gators are only a few years old, they can still pack a nasty bite. Over to the boys and we'll come back for the next. Got him?
Wash him up and get him looking good for the new pool.
OK. The first 2 have been pretty easy. They were close enough to the bank that I could reach down and grab a tail.
Come here, mate.
And they're whippy at that age, mate. Yep.
On there.
Yep, up.
The 3rd one, well, look at him. He's sitting right in the middle of that mud.
OK, here we go.
Time to bring out the pole and rope.
Settle down, buddy. Settle down.
So far, we've managed to stay pretty clean, but all the gators that were out have now been caught. The next 4 are down in the burrow. The shoes need to come off. We're getting dirty. We've got 2 male platypus here at the reptile park, and it's routine that we would catch them, weigh them, physically examine them, just to make sure that they're healthy. But today I've got a visitor, and we're going to do something a little bit different. First, I've got to catch the boys. That can be a bit tricky because this network here, well, this is one of their burrows, and he's somewhere in there now. I can hear him. There he is. Oh. There he goes. Now, the plats are quick. There he goes. He's down there. Come on, mate. There he goes. I've got that blocked up there, so he can't go anywhere at the minute. OK. There we have a platypus. What a beautiful critter.
Now for number 2.
Now, it's daytime, and the ponds are being serviced, which means the plat's in his box. There's only one way to catch a male platypus, and that's very carefully. They're in fact venomous, and they have long spurs. Now, their venom is used for male-to-male platypus combat, but if I was spurred and envenomated, it's one of the most painful stings in the animal kingdom. So when you catch a plat, You have to hold him very carefully by the tail. It doesn't hurt the plat. He'll wiggle around. Come on, mate. Just like this. Now, this is a nice little male. There we go. All right, mate, in you go, please. Oh, you missed. There you go, buddy. Thank you. All right, that's number 2. Let's get up the vet block.
The reptile park has a long history supplying venom to make any venom. But today, it's a whole new ballgame.
Professor Kathy Belov is here today to help with the platypus. And Kathy and I go way back. She's from Sydney University and has had a lot of involvement with all things genetics relating to Tasmanian devils. But Kathy also works with venom. And we know at the reptile park we milk spiders, we milk venomous snakes, but today we're milking a platypus. And there's very little known about their venom, and hopefully Kathy can shed a bit of light on that. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm
Lovely
really
to
good.
see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm ready to go.
Fantastic. So you've got the flats already?
Yep, they're here and ready. I'm a little bit nervous as always doing this.
Yeah.
But Kathy's got some amazing stories about the venom. What happens if I get hit?
So it's excruciating pain, and it's a pain that lasts for months. And
Yeah.
it's a pain that won't be relieved by morphine. So you'll end up going into hospital and getting put under a full anaesthetic block to relieve the pain. There's also muscle wastage of the affected limb, gastric pains, nausea, cold sweats. So
Yeah.
be really careful.
I don't like hearing it like that. There's no real science behind milking a platypus. And to tell you the truth, I don't know of anyone other than myself that's ever milked a live one.
Hopefully I can do it again, and more importantly, not get stung.
Australia's venomous creatures are world famous, and we have lists of every type, whether it's venomous sea creatures, venomous spiders, or in this case, it's our terrestrial land snakes. There's a whole range of things you need to consider when deciding how dangerous a snake is, and they include its venom delivery system, how big are its fangs, is it likely to come into contact with people, and the venom itself. They're all very different. Of all the species we have here, I'm going to show you my top 5. And to keep it simple, I'm going to put them in order of who has the strongest venom. But I'm also going to talk about what makes them dangerous. At number 19 on the venom ranking is the king brown snake. Now, this is Australia's biggest venomous snake. Now, what he lacks in the strength of his venom, he makes up for in size and the venom itself. So let's have a look at him. Now, this is about as big as they get. And he's certainly the biggest king brown that we have here. Look at that. Now, this is the king of snakes. And you know, widely distributed right across the arid interior of Australia. They mainly eat other reptiles, snakes, lizards. The venom is really strong and able to kill them quickly, and they'll swallow a snake whole. Look at that. I'm not a big fella, but that's a long snake. And he's heavy. Oh, stay there, buddy. All right, I'm gonna put him away before he gets stroppy. What a snake. Ah, there you go, big boy. Thank you. That's a buzz. This snake comes in at number 10 in the venom ranking, and it's a little favourite of mine. It's a death adder, and they're a pretty remarkable snake. They're found throughout most of Australia, and they're a bushwalker's nightmare, and I'll show you why. This death adder right now is doing exactly what they do in the wild. The body's buried, the head's just sitting proud of the substrate, and that little tail there is flicking, and that's a lure. Let's have a look what he does. He's a bit cranky there. Look how big that body is, how fat it is. And that would have been concealed under leaves, just that head and tail sticking out. Come on, mate. The death adder is a true ambush predator. It uses its lure that looks like a worm, wiggles it around, and a bird, frog, or gecko comes in, and whack! It's got one of the fastest strikes of any snake on Earth. At number 10, its venom is strong. and contains potent neurotoxins and some procoagulants. The neurotoxin mean the brain can't talk with the body. That's going to send you into paralysis. Now, the procoagulants thin your blood. It means your blood can't clot and you're likely to have an internal bleed. Big problems.
Time to get the boots off and get in.
Yep. No gators in here.
Well, I'll let you go in first.
That's not pretty.
I'm up at my mate Jace's Hunter Valley Zoo to help him relocate 7 gators. They're in danger of the burrow they've dug collapsing on them.
I can see a tail.
Yep.
And a pointy end.
We've got 3 out and into a holding pool. There's 4 left hiding in the burrow.
I don't like putting a hand in there. I'm going to try and put a rope around the tail. That'll give us a bit more to pull on and hopefully get it out. Just watch for it to swing, eh? Back up. One more.
Stronger.
Got him? Yep. 1, 2.
3. All right, boys? Yep. All yours.
I'm grabbing number 5.
We could get lucky.
I put the rope in there, close to the gator, and it bites it. Bang. Right on the rope. Noose pulls tight, and out she comes.
Bring him out a bit. Yep. That rope's going to slip. A bit more to you. OK, I'm going to take that rope off.
Yeah, mate.
There we go.
The last 2 gators, they're right back in the burrow, and we can only see glimpses of them. Now it gets hard. It's probably the best part of 1.5 meters back.
Okay.
Give it a pull. Got him?
Yep. We're all right. Yep, I've got him.
Okay, buddy.
Good. We've been trying to get the 7 gators out of this pond for over an hour now. We've got 1 left, and it's a problem. We can't even see it. We don't even know where it is.
We're filling this pond back in, so he's got to come out.
OK.
Hold on, what's that? I can see him.
He's in there?
Right at the back corner.
Yep.
Bananaed around the wall.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to be easy.
Couple of metres in.
Yep. We've found him. Now, we know where the head is, but there's only one way to get him. I've got to go in that burrow. The plan is, if I can grab tail, I will.
Yep.
If not, I'll try and move it where we can get a rope.
Yep.
But either way, mate, if I sing out, please, drag me out by the legs.
Yep, will do, mate. You all right, mate?
I'm right inside the burrow. It's dark, muddy, wet, and there's an alligator in here. This is risky, and it's really difficult.
Yeah, you got a tail.
OK, mate, I've got
Right.
it. I need help out.
Go. Help me out.
Help out.
All right, mate. Out.
Watch him.
I've got his tail, and I can see his head, and I'm just watching that he doesn't swing around. Now, Jace comes in, his hands are on, it's time to pull him out. But that's not easy. We're stuck, knee-deep in mud.
Help out.
All right.
Finally, after one monumental struggle,
One of the little guys proving the toughest.
The toughest.
we get the last one out. The smallest was the hardest.
He had himself buried in there.
Hello, mate. Wow, we hand over the last gator for a washdown. That's it, job done, and job done well. A bit hairy for a minute, but ended up fine. Lucky last.
Lucky last.
Away you go. I'm in the vet block at the reptile park, milking platypus for their venom. With me is Professor Kathy Bellow from Sydney University, along with keepers Mick and Chris. It's too tricky a job for just one man.
Listen to that.
Now, this is a little worrying. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here.
Now, this plat's really old, at least 17 years old. We know he's been in the system. We've only had him for a couple of months. He's a beautiful display animal. But what I'm seeing here is that he's that old, he doesn't have the strong spurs of a male in his prime, so he's not at all suitable to milk. All right, well, that's number 1. Now, this guy is a lot bigger. He's a lot younger, certainly in the platypus prime of his life. When they're young, in the first years of age, males don't actually show that spur. It's hidden beneath the skin, and as they reach sexual maturity and need the spur for combat, it protrudes like this. I think this one's going to be a good one. So get ready, boys, because he's going to be a bit stronger. 1, 2. Oh, listen to that punch through. There we go. There you go, mate. Now, there's one little drop in there, about the size of your average raindrop, but it's a bit milky and pretty sticky. It's actually stuck to the side.
With extraction done and a quick weighing session, that's nearly it.
It's liquid gold when you think about it. The possibilities are pretty exciting. It's not every day you see a drop of platypus venom. Well, that was great. What happens now?
So we take this back to the lab and we start to characterise the peptides in the venom.
Now, the peptides are small molecules that cause the symptoms after being envenomated. Extreme pain, a drop in blood pressure, paralysis and swelling. And it's the pain and swelling elements that one day could lead to a new painkiller or even something like an anti-wrinkle cream. So whilst Kathy returns to begin studies in her new batch of venom, it's back to the plat house for our boys.
It's been a good day, and it's not often you get to contribute to science, and who knows where that might end up. It's time to let this little fella go. Certainly one of the world's most unusual creatures, and one of my favourites. And the best part is, he's a purebred Aussie. And my number 3 has the world's 4th strongest venom. It's a tiger snake, and I love them. They're full of character and attitude. And I'm going to show you the whole milking process with this one. We have 250 venomous snakes, and we milk them once a fortnight. It takes 2 guys, 1 whole day. Pretty intense day. Ready to come out. Now, tigers get their name for a pretty obvious reason, striped like a tiger snake. Common along the east coast and southern parts of Australia. Responsible for a lot of bites each year, and normally 1 to 3 fatalities. Now, this is the dangerous part, pinning the snake. What we've got to do is get the snake into a position. Come on, mate, turn around, please. Where its head faces away. We gently put that onto the head. And then sliding up. That's it. That's a tiger snake. I love them. Lots of character and attitude. Look at that face. On the side here are venom glands. Big venom glands. Now I've got the snake. It's time to extract the venom. What we've got here is a venom vial with a piece of plastic on the top. We need the snake to not only sink its fangs in, but bite, and that'll release the venom. Ready? Oh, that's a good bite. 2 fangs. Wow. And that's a good milking, probably somewhere between 10 to 15 mil. All right, so now we want him off the vial. We don't want to break his fangs, so we just want him to let go. And people ask, well, if he bit you now, is he still dangerous? And the answer is yes. They never release all of their venom, so he's just as dangerous now as he was before I milked him. Now the release. There we go. That's it. One happy tiger snake. This snake is an all-round bad boy. It has the 2nd strongest venom of any snake on Earth. It lives in and around cities and has actually done quite well in urban sprawl because of the rats and mice that come, and that's its prey. It's responsible for many bites every year, 2 or 3 fatalities in Australia every year. It's the eastern brown snake. Now, this is only a little brown. They scare me. They've got such a long body and long neck. They're really quick and happy to bite. And what I mean by a long neck is the distance between his head and where the chunky part of the body starts. So it's fair to say that a death adder doesn't really have a long neck. The eastern browns, the rest of that is a thin body and they are quick. Snakes don't go out of their way to try and bite humans. They generally try and avoid contact at all cost. But you put an eastern brown snake in a corner and it will bite. Now, although this guy has the second strongest venom on Earth, needless to say, if you're bitten by any of my snakes and they're untreated, you're going to die. I think it's time to put him away. Now, my number one is also the world's number one. It has the strongest venom of any snake. And this sleek-looking snake is a fierce snake or inland taipan. Now, they eat rats and they live in the black soil plains of southwestern Queensland. And they need their venom to be so strong because food doesn't come along all that often. And when it does, they need to make sure it counts. So over time, that venom has evolved to be as strong as it is. And they're that confident in it that when they bite a rat, they'll let it go and let it run off and die, and they'll track it down with their smell. Our taipan venom has a number of components, but what makes it so strong is the neurotoxins, the brain's ability to talk to the body, and its venom aims to knock down and kill fast. It's time to put him away. Whoa, buddy, settle down. That jaw drop there, that's a gape, and he was looking straight back at me without the hook there. Now, he's a pretty quiet snake generally, and taipans are a bit of a favourite of mine, but for a minute there, he was cranky. So that's it. There's my top 5. There's plenty more out there that can do you damage. The best way not to get bitten is just to give snakes a bit of space. If you see one, leave it alone. Most people are bitten trying to catch the snake or kill the snake. If you happen to get bitten, you really do need to stay calm. That's the golden rule. The faster the heart beats, the more the venom pumps around the body. Further to that, immobilise the limb. Get yourself to hospital. Don't worry about wiping it. They need that venom there to test what snake it was if you're not sure. Even if you don't know if it was a python or a venomous snake, get to the hospital and you'll be right.